Happy Friday everyone and welcome to the Lazy Redhead. And if you don't know, I am a lazy redhead. Today is my thoughts on pastel, specifically oil pastels. This was largely brought around by a subscriber who had asked me to talk about my favourite art supplies and what could potentially be good for a gift for Christmas. I was like, well, that's good. Yeah, I could potentially do that. I thought, right, well, maybe I should break it down. Like, everyone knows the kind of materials I'm into and why, but I thought maybe I could just concentrate on each material. Now, that idea was brought around by Leslie, who had emailed me with a oil pastel recommendation, Paul Rubens. She swears by them as a cost-effective but really premium product for the use of oil pastel. She ain't wrong. She is not wrong. Leslie, little girl kicked you, sorry. Leslie, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. So in the spirit of these two comments or advisories I've got from my beautiful subscribers, I thought, hey, let's fuse these bad boys together. I will talk about materials and I will also invest in new materials in aid of the first one. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head, guys, and that's all that matters. I use oil pastels in pretty much every aspect of my work in one way or another. In my sketchbooks, on canvas, random bits of paper, they feature more and more in my work every time I come to create. I also think that it's more versatile than colouring pencils a lot of the time. Certain brands of colouring pencils doesn't play nice with certain materials and vice versa, and that's why I do that elaborate mix it up swatch here, which is available on my website. Linked below anyway. Oil pastels though, although you can't really go backwards with oil pastels to some degree, you can put an oil pastel on pretty much anything. Acrylic paint, ink, charcoal if you want. I don't know what you're into, but you know what I mean. It's, you know, you're going to be safe with that option. You can't really go backwards. You can kind of. The acrylic sand paste allows you to go backwards, so you can kind of get rid of a few bits. Anything watery though will obviously just evaporate on top of the oil pastel, and that does in fact leave a lovely effect once it dries. We've got a few things to do, a few things to organize, and it's kind of like a journey, like almost like a vlog, but everything really pertaining to a pastel, oil pastels, all that good stuff. And there'll be some new studio prep in amongst that as well. So I want to start off actually by organising the oil pastels that I currently have, because they're a bloody mess. I have been using this tub since I got loads of oil pastels when we were in the small studio, in fact, and it has served me so well. But the problem is the compartments are so small that, you know, I keep trying to organise it and it always gets messed up, you know, when you're in the creative flow, you know. So I've organised it all and just tried to take out the smaller compartments and just make them like long, thin compartments, thinking that will be good. This piece that's done in the blue Acorn A3, which you saw completed last week, and for the sketchbook party the week before that, I wanted it to be completely covered in oil pastel because the previous page I just left the ink, so I had that kind of built up energy in me. I really wanted to cake the pastel on this piece, and I also think this piece actually is a really great example of why I love using the oil pastel. Textures are just so important to me because it creates movement, it creates life, doesn't it? And you want to stare at it for days and you always find something new. This, I find I get a really great outcome with oil pastel. This is Purple Puddle. You will have seen that last week also in the A4. I bloody love this piece. And so that is what I want to concentrate on, and that's why I love it. I am at the end going to show you a completed, framed piece, completely done, most of which is oil pastel. And I think the final piece, I mean, I picked it up today from the framers. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm looking at it now. It's better than I could ever have imagined. And I'm so excited to get the other pieces done. And to the framers, I didn't take the other one. I completely forgot. And I'm glad I didn't because the roads are icy. Like everything is full of ice. So me and my husband were slipping and sliding around with 2 frames. He got something framed as well from his work. So, oh, bloody nightmare. But this piece is better than I could have ever imagined. And I also think that I'm probably going to concentrate more on this, working in this way. Then I think I'll probably be stepping away from canvas unless it's a commission. I'm absolutely going to continue to work in this way because it really does emulate my process. Now though, I'm going to take you through different brands of oil pastels. I'm going to start to come up with a new way of organising my oil pastels that is aesthetically beautiful in aid of the new studio, but also is practical. I need it to be functional. Bigger compartments I think is going to be key, especially when I can get quantities now. You know, I'm going to have different brands of different sizes and stuff. I want to be able just to grab at stuff, right? I don't want to have to work for it because it really does affect the creative flow. You know, when you're inside you're inside your bubble and you're just kind of creating and you know, nothing brings you out of it more traumatically than if an art supply is just not working or it's hard to access. Oh, it's just clunky. It makes it clunky. It needs to be like a fluid, easy process, you know, an enjoyable one. So we're going to deal with that because we can't proceed without that in place. My collection of oil pastels consists of these cheap versions, which is Pentel and Sennelier. When I'm practicing sketchbooks, potentially like ironing out some creases, I use my cheaper option, and when I'm ready to kind of commit to the concept, I'll go in with Sennelier. Certainly on works I'm going to sell on canvas, just so that they're life fast, right? Now I've been using them like hard. I've been using them. Obviously you saw me somewhat rearranging them, and again they're sort of messed up again. Now we are going to come up with a better strategy, if you will. Also, certain colours I've worn down to nothing and it's doing me head in. So I need to come up with a better storage solution. One that looks pretty, obviously, and is in keeping with our new studio vibes, as well as making sure that it's functional because I use them a lot. In aid of this, I decided not only to replace what I usually get, which is this, the Pentel Arts oil pastels, a pack of 50. They are like, I think they're like £8, between £8 and £10 off Amazon. I think Jackson Art sells them, Cass Art. I don't know if Blick sells them, but yeah, amazing. So cheap for what you get. Now, I didn't know, but they do an extra large range, which basically means it is 50% larger than these. right? And I'm excited about that. I also got this pack, which is a Paul Rubens. Oh, excuse me. That is Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Texting me. Stephanie is my darling subscriber and dear friend. She's an absolute legend. Stephanie, I'm going to put you on silent in a minute, bubs. Just a minute, and I'll text you back. Paul Rubens, which was advised by Leslie. I think this is the pastel range actually, which I'm quite excited about. I need my scissors for this because I need to open it up. I haven't even opened them up, guys. I've waited for you. I've genuinely waited for you. Usually I wouldn't. I would have opened it up by now, sniffed it and everything, but I haven't. I'm so excited. Let's have a look. Oh, your battery's about to bloody go. Bloody hell. Quick battery change. I'm still getting used to the studio, I'll be honest. So excited. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God, bloody marvellous. Is it the pastel range? I'm sure it was the pastel range I ordered. Macaroon it was called. So these are like the pastel tinted oil pastel. Does that make sense? I was totally obsessed. But Leslie absolutely advised these, she said, and the work she did out of them were awesome. I don't know whether she got the pastel range. I just know that she's got one of the ranges. I also got these two, and the reason is because the sets that they look like beautiful. Oh, sugar lumps. Oh, that came out upside down. Making a right bloody mess over here. Now, these look like lovely, lovely kind of colours. And they had great reviews. So this is kind of like a pastel range. As you know, I'm obsessed with my pastels. Right, let's open this bad boy. Now we know that we need to make sure it's up the right way. Okay, so they're different palettes. And I thought, well, they look the same, but they're not. I double checked. Shall I swatch them? Shall I? All right, I'll bloody well swatch them. Oh, God, task. Taskmasters you are, taskmasters. Right, can you see that? Can you see it? So I'm trying to get used to the new studio. Slightly failing, to be fair. Slight failure, but it's okay. I'll get there in the end. Right, let's swatch these bad boys. Not going to bother doing the whites, but I do like the fact that these come with extra whites. There's also one here. So in this pack, you get 3 whites. Bougie. Oh, they are soft. Oh, they're nice. Oh, they are nice. They're thicker as well than the baby Pentels. Yeah, I think they're probably the same size actually as the extra large. Yeah, these are the same size as the extra large Pentels. These are nice. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't lie to you. These are lovely. They're going on dead smooth, really thick. They are a lot smoother than the Pentels, for sure. The Pentels can be quite crumbly, quite scratchy. Certainly in the blues, I find. But I find the blue, certainly anything with indigoing can react that way. But these colours are just delicious. I mean, look at that one. Oh, can you... Oh, sorry, I'll pull you down a bit. I mean, you can't... Again, sorry about this. I'm trying to get used to it all. It's all new. Oh, that one's beautiful. I can't get enough of this, guys. This is nice. Really, really nice. I'm absolutely obsessed with oil pastels. Can't get enough of them. Not gonna lie. So to have other options, other brands that I can rely on other than Pentel, because, you know, these are different tones, you know. Oh, that colour, just amazing. That purple's okay. It'll probably be nice when comboed up with something fabulous. Oh, just so excited. I'm excited. Right, that is a decent palette, if I've ever seen one. Decent. Right, so this is the next lot. See what I mean? They're not the same. They're slightly off. But I think that with these two, you're going to get a really good range of pastel-esque colours. And you know, guys, for the winter, I know that they're historically associated with spring, summer pastels, but I'm just out there on my own, cracking my own situation, I feel. See what I mean? You feel like they're the same, but they're not. They are a couple of tones favourite. Love that. Nice. Oh, I'm so bloody excited about these. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a glass case I'm in need of a glass case. Put these behind. Really beautiful. Look at these greens. Do you know what I mean? These beautiful green blues. Going to be great for the old bodies of water, that. Nice. The thing is, I usually put the darks in. The darks would usually be associated with the inks. So I'll put the initial layer down, which is historically ink. And then I will go in with either pencil or oil pastel. And this is just about me coming up with my way of creating a style. A video, by the way, I am going to be working on. But I wanted to do medium orientated videos like my thoughts on oil pastels. I've got another one on ink. And it's just about understanding what your vibe is, and I want to talk about that. Right, where's the macaroon pack? Macaroon! Here you are. Found you. This is going to be good. Oh, he's not wrong. Right, I'm going to rush through these. Now, I don't mind telling you that those Paul Rubens are absolutely delicious. Beautiful. Leslie, you were right. Totally soft, yummy. Obviously, I'm full of the pastels. I have since gone and ordered a couple of more Paul Rubens sets, because there's a couple, isn't there? Just to bulk out my collection. Not that I bloody well need it. It's carnage. But I just wanted to show you the outcome, because I was on the phone. Nightmare. But this is what we were left with, and it's so chunky. Oh, I know. It's so chunky and beautiful, and it's full of all my favourite colours, and it's just, oh, it's delicious. And when I look at these swatches, I just want to get involved. Do you know that way? Where you just want to start creating. I think it's the transition between the really flat paper, the smooth paper, and then the swatch of oil pastel is just delightful. I would absolutely frame that. I know, I'm a weirdo. What do you want from me? Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's just so chunkety. In aid of, obviously, our chuff ton, don't need to translate that for you, our chuff ton of art supplies, namely oil pastels, I'm going to move on to the new storage solution. Sorry if my face keeps going a different colour. I've had to put up some, well, I say have to, obviously I wanted to, but I've put up a film on my windows that's like a privacy film, but it's a rainbow, so when the sun comes in, it's like a reflective glass. It's like it looks like a rainbow. Does that make sense? Am I making sense at all? Probably not. Oh, that is so nice. I got a new type of hot chocolate as well. It's my favourite now, I've decided. Guys. Let's get on and organise these bad boys. This is the new storage solution. Do you love it? It's basically, you know what you put screws and stuff in like a man cave? This is what this is. I'm so excited. So what I thought I would do is reorganise the pen towel in here. So maybe the first few. And then, but I'm going to do it with colour. Just to note as well, these extra large pen towel, they're exactly the same, they're just bigger. This is how much bigger they are. I'm going to quickly show you this. 50% bigger. Now, look at the size of the Rubens. Look at that. Chunky monkeys. Didn't realise how big they were. I think the extra large pen towels are good. You can get a pack of 48, I believe, but I just didn't see them, did I? What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put them in like a colour order, starting with white. So I'm gonna put all the whites in here. I'm not gonna bother with brand. I've skinned them, if you hadn't already noticed. I skinned them alive, took all their little wrappers off. Now the reason why I did that is because there's no point keeping them on there, you know. No point keeping them on there for the simple fact that there's no open stock on these because you know, they're cheap. They're cheap and cheerful, I think. So I just figured, well, hey, why not? Why keep them together like that when I can just, you know, split them up? You know? It's really nice to sort of get the colours together. Maybe that one goes with that one. It does actually, it goes better with that one. Does that go with that one? Oh, it does, it does. It's just so satisfying, isn't it? Oh, I love it. Love, love, love. I do have two of these. With the second one, what I'm going to do is I am going to put my top-ups in it. So, you know, I have that box of top-ups. I've got a load of Sennelier top-ups. I'm going to put all my top-ups in there. I'm also going to put the Neo 2s and my soft pastels. Anything stick related are going in this type of drawer situation. I think that's really going to help me be more efficient around the studio, I feel. Do you know what I mean? Have access to my favourite things constantly. I love that, but in a really like organised way. So excited. Pastels for me are just a really easy medium to work with. In terms of being loose, I think it's a great medium. If you're wanting to be loose and that's what you aspire to kind of achieve. Working with pastels, certainly chunky, cheap pastels, great. Highly recommend, highly. They are unruly. They do exactly what they want to do. They will not be told or tethered. And that's kind of what you want out of a pastel, I think. I would love to get my Senneliers in here, but I fear that my Senneliers, I don't know, they're just too precious to me. Love that though, getting the Senneliers in as well. But they're so expensive that I'd just die if anything happened to them. My God, can you imagine? Oh, it's not even worth thinking about, is it? I've got so much space that it doesn't really matter if I've only got a couple in there, because all I'll do is I'll go out and buy more. I think I've got a couple more packs of oil pastels come in. I know I've got a problem. What do you want from me? Okay, now you kind of get the concept. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up here dead quick and then I will give you the reveal. Now, I don't mind telling you that I am super delighted with the outcome. Come on. I know. Oh, isn't it? It's both functional and beautiful. The only other thing is that you can't really see the soft pastels because I've kept them in their little foam thingy. It fit perfectly inside the drawer. And I thought, right, well, rather than them rolling around and bashing each other and, you know, just turning into dust essentially, I'll keep them in the foam. So that's the only thing. You can't see the colours like you can the oil pastels and the Neo 2s. I'm glad I put the Neo 2s in there. I use them a lot. The only thing that steers me away from Neo 2s though is the lack of greens. They don't have the type of greens that I reach for. I find the greens really cool. I like a warm, dirty, gritty green. Something with a bit of oomph The rest of them are just stunning. I really do think this is just going to be like a dream when I start to utilize them. I'll be probably using them in the near future, actually. I might even potentially have to use them today because I need to do a Patreon video, and the patrons are going to get a behind the scenes with me working on canvas again and getting that sorted. So I'm really excited about that because I have some pieces I want to get finished, and the patrons are going to help me do it. They're going to come along for the ride. But yes, I'll show you the finished piece. I was going to do a big reveal and I had this big plan, but I'm just too excited and I want to show you. I know, I'm rubbish. I know. I'll turn this off. And this one. The orange frame is just stunning. I love the orange frame. The next piece I'm going to be having framed is going to be in a lilac frame. And I think a red frame I might consider as well. So I think I love these kind of bold frames. I think that really does. It's beautiful. Had to put a mount on it because of the edges. I don't mind that. I don't mind the mount. I wish the mount was a different colour. I might actually ask him to order specific mounts, or even if I was to order my own collection of mounts, I would be happy with that. Yeah, I'm just delighted with it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I just, you know, something, you know, that way where you're kind of staring at it. I haven't seen this piece in a few weeks, to be fair. So seeing it framed and kind of finished, there's something so beautiful. It's almost the same, the equivalent of, you know, when you take off the tape, you know, like around the edge of an artwork, and it's just like, oh, it's like that, but better, more expensive. To be fair, it was quite reasonable to get that framed, but still fairly expensive. I will be putting it on my website. I'm reluctant to put it on my website, but I will be putting it on my website. Maybe in the new year. Don't worry, I'll keep the 10% going. I'll keep the 10% going until it's up. I hope you liked this week and you got to see behind the scenes and me using the oil pastels. Oil pastels are great and they don't have to be expensive. They really, really don't. You hear my husband making a racket down there. He's making me roasted tomato soup. Delighted. And cheese. A cheese toasty. I'm so lucky. Oil pastels do not have to be expensive. The Paul Rubens are premium, so they really are fantastic. The two palette sets are really great as well. The cheapest of them all obviously is the Pentels, and they are a bit more crumbly, they're a bit more dry, but again, I love that. I really like the kind of texture, you know, the grittiness they leave behind. Alternatively, if you really like the kind of creamy traditional, Paul Rubens are definitely the way to go, and they're not expensive at all, you know. You're my husband. Sorry, one moment. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you enjoyed this week. I hope you found it informative. Patrons, you're gonna be coming along with the behind the scenes canvas situation with me. Hope you're happy with that. And Sketchbook Pie next week, not sure, got a couple of things in the pipeline. I'll figure it out. But next week I'm obviously I'll be on holiday. I will be on holiday, yes. So if you comment and stuff and I don't reply quickly or what have you, I'm so sorry. It will be because I'll be driving to the Highlands and I'll be with my family. And it's our Christmas holiday before, you know, the drama. Thanks, guys. Anyway, I'll see you later. Have a good weekend. Love you guys. Mwah!